If I'm seeing healthy food in the compost bin, that's an indicator to me that we need to keep the education going around wasted food, because the highest best use for food is people. And I'm glad we're composting it, but it's a shame if it's still edible that it would go here instead of some of the higher, better uses for the resources.
Hi, I'm Dalia, Emmy Award-winning journalist and cookbook author. Join me as I explore the intersection of food and sustainability and how we can all make more eco-conscious choices when we eat.
This is what happens at the landfill, right? The moisture gets stuck in the bottom, the food scraps get trapped in with all the garbage, and we don't get rich soil. Nationwide, it's like 20% of all the landfills are food scraps, you know? I mean, that's food that could have been eaten.
It's out of sight, out of mind. When the sanitation workers pick it up from my driveway,
gone.
It's gone, it's not my
bin's
problem.
empty.
And it's a privilege to not have to look at it and live with it and think about it.
It is, so it's like taking personal accountability for the amount of garbage that you take is like, it's like a community action. You're saying, I did that, I made that, I created it, and I'm not gonna put that burden on somebody else. And I think if we start looking at food and food waste as part of a system and what our individual and collective role is in that system, then I think it creates the possibility to change. We can take that material out and we can regenerate, you know, in our backyards and in our communities. So it's like, it's a win-win.
This is gorgeous. What happens with the composting here?
Well, this is a community compost site operated by Sunshine Community Compost. We want to be able to ensure that people have an opportunity to compost their food scraps if they don't have access or ability to compost in their backyard, if you live in a condo, if you're a very busy person or whatever. And so we partner with the city of Sarasota, and in some of the city parks, we're able to put these food scrap drop-off stations.
What are some creative uses you have found for what we think of as food scraps?
Yep. Well, I mean, something that I do really regularly is after I'm chopping, you know, vegetables up or whatever, I save all the peels, all the scraps, all the tops, and I freeze them until I get a good amount of volume, and then I make a broth with it. And so I can still extract the nutrients that are within those foods before I give it to the microbes to eat in my compost bin. For me, I understand things about the date labels, right? So it's like expired by, best by. Those are suggestions for peak freshness, and so it's good to tune into that because you can keep that food for a very long time. Putting little signs if you're in a big family, it's like, eat this first.
There's one version of myself that thinks I'm gonna eat salad every night. But there's another version of myself that says, well, on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have soccer, and on this day we have baseball, and so maybe we're not gonna eat at home that night.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of your meal planning, so you won't be buying excess, is because you know that 3 nights a week, it's like, you want to get the kids home into bed, you know, and it's like, okay, fine. That's life in this culture, you know. I think there's a myth of abundance, and knowing that in the US, like 30 to 40% of all food produced is going into the landfill, it's like, we have to work on this issue. It's a finite planet, you know, we can't extract indefinitely into the future, you know, we have to give back by wanting to participate and collaborate. I mean, it really feels like collaboration with the planet and collaboration with each other. So yeah, so that's it.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Give it a try.
I'm excited.
Yeah.